In this video, I am going to talk about the idea of paths, walks and cycles in a graph. So let me start with the definition of a walk. So a walk in a graph G is a finite non-empty sequence which looks something like this: V0, E1, V1, E2 all the way up to Vk minus 1, Ek, Vk, whose terms are alternatively vertices and edges. So here this V0, V1, Vk minus 1, Vk, they are vertices. So V0, V1, V2, Vk minus 1, Vk are elements of V, so they are vertices, and E1, E2, Vk, they are edges, they are elements of E. Okay, if this graph is V. So a walk is a non-finite, it's a non-empty finite sequence V0, E1, V1, E2, Vk minus 1, Ek, Vk, whose terms are alternatively vertices and edges, okay, such that the ends of Ei, so if you consider say E1, and the ends of Ei are Vi minus 1 and Vi. So the ends of E1 will be V0 and V1, and similarly the ends of E2 will be V1 and V2. Okay, so it will be like Vi minus 1 and Vi. Okay, so let me give an example of such a walk. So let's consider this graph, a graph containing 5 vertices and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 edges, and suppose that the vertices and edges are labeled, okay, in this way. Okay, so let's start from this U. So the first thing is a vertex U. Okay, suppose that, okay, we are going to use this edge, so the E1 will be A. So now we reach B, so V1 will be B. Okay, so from B let's take this edge G and we move to Y. Okay, and after that let's take this edge F. So if we take this edge F, we move to B. Okay, from B let's take this edge B. So after taking this edge B, we move to W. Okay, and let's continue with, okay, one more edge. Suppose that at vertex W we take edge H and we arrive at Y. Okay, so this is an example of a walk in this graph. Okay, and here the thing is that, okay, these terms U, V, Y, B, W, Y, okay, they are vertices, and A, G, F, B, H, they are edges. Okay, so a walk is nothing but it's a sequence of alternating vertices and edges. Okay, and here we can see that the edges and vertices can be repeated. So if you look here, you can see that, okay, these two V is repeated, okay, here and here. Okay, and if you consider a different walk, you could repeat edges. Okay, let's consider one more walk. Okay, suppose that we start at Y, and suppose that we took this at F, we read V. Okay, from V we move back to Y through G, so we use this at G. Okay, we went back to Y. Okay, then Y, suppose that we are going to take F again, then we reach Y. Okay, reach V. Then from V, suppose that we are going to use B. Okay, we reach W. So this is also an example of walk. So here we can see that because some edges are repeated, so f is repeated here. Okay, so that is allowed in a walk. Okay, so this is how a walk is defined. It's a finite non-empty sequence of alternating vertices and edges. Okay, and here each edge ei are ends have endpoints vi minus 1 and vi. Okay, so this is an example of, because these two are walks in this graph. Okay, so about that we have a walk w. W is a walk from say v0 to vk. Then we call such a walk a v0 vk walk. Okay, for example, we consider this graph and suppose that we have a walk say u a v f y. So u a v f y. Okay, and this walk w is a uy walk in this graph G. Okay, so if there is a walk from some vertex to another vertex, we call that vertex a. So if that two vertices are say v0 and vk, v0 vk walk. Okay, and here this v0 and vk are called the initial and terminal vertices. So we consider this walk, so this u is the initial vertex and this y is the terminal vertex. Okay, and the remaining vertices v1 v2 up to vk are called internal vertices. Okay, so here it has only one internal vertex, so here v is called an internal vertex. So if you have a very long walk, we could have many internal vertices. Okay, and here if we consider this walk, that integer k is called the length of the walk. Okay, length of the walk is nothing but the number of edges. Okay, so if we consider this walk, the number of edges is k, so the length of the walk is the number of edges. Okay, so length of this walk w by definition is a number of edges. Okay, so in this case the number of edges, okay, this is an edge and this is an edge, and the length of this walk is 2. Okay, the thing is that if you consider a walk, we will have n plus 1. Okay, or if you consider this walk, we have k plus 1 vertices and k edges, and the length of the walk is the number of edges. Okay, so if you consider this walk, the length will be equal to 2 because the number of edges is 2, a and f. Okay, and two more definitions. Suppose that we have a walk w and another walk w bar. Okay, then the walk. So if you consider this walk and if you reverse this sequence, okay, vk, ek, vk k minus 1, e1, v0, okay, obtained by reversing w. Okay, it is not by w superscript minus 1. Okay, for example, in this case, suppose that we have this walk u a v b w, then w, the reverse of the walk, w superscript minus 1 will be, okay, w b v a w. Okay, and the walk obtained by concatenating w and w bar at vk. So if you take this walk, so it ends here vk, the terminal vertex is vk, and here the initial vertex is vk. So if you concatenate w and w dash, we get another sequence, and that sequence will be denoted by w bar. Okay, for example, consider let w be this and w bar be something like, it must start with this w. Okay, w c x d y then W bar will be, so what you do is you simply copy W, U, A, B, B, W, and then you copy paste the remaining W dash here. Okay, so these two things are common. So W, C, X, D, Y. Okay, and if you consider a walk something like this, then if you consider a subsequence of that walk, okay, of consecutive times of W, okay, we call that a Vi Vj section of W. Okay, for example, consider this walk W bar. Okay, so in this case what we could do is we could take, okay, this subsequence. So W, okay, not W, okay, V, B, W, C. So it's a subsequence of this sequence, consecutive terms of W bar. Okay, and we call such a subsequence. So in this case the initial vertex is V and the terminal vertex is C. Now I think it must end at X. Okay, so here we have this vertex, edge, vertex, edge, vertex, so it must end at X. Okay, so this will be a subsequence of this walk. Okay, W bar, and we call such a subsequence in this case V X section of W bar. Okay, so since we are considering this combined walk. Okay, so if the graph is simple, then a walk with look something like this is, it can be represented by simply listing the vertices, okay, because it do not have any multiple edges or lobes. Okay, so there is no ambiguity in that particular walk. Okay, let me give an example. Okay, let's consider a simple graph which looks something like this. Okay, let the edges be labeled A, B, C, D, E, and vertices label U, V, W, X. Okay, so in this case one walk that is possible is U, A, V, B, U, A, V, B, W, C, X. Okay, here we can see that this is a simple graph. Okay, so in this case what we could do is, if W is this walk, it can also be represented like, okay, U, V, W, X. Okay, from U you move to V, from V you move to W, and from W you move to X. Okay, since the graph is a simple graph, okay, these edges are unique. Okay, so if the graph is simple, then in order to represent a walk, only need to simply list the vertices. The edges will be implied within that listing. Okay, so next definition, what is called a trail. So if the edges of a walk are distinct, okay, that's very important. If the edges are distinct, such a walk is called a trail. Okay, so let me give an example of a trail in this graph. So here the vertices could get repeated, but the thing is that the edges must be unique. Okay, so if you start here U, okay, let's take edge A. Okay, so in this trail A is not allowed to appear further. Okay, U, A, B. Okay, let's take G and move to Y. Okay, and let's take F and move to V. Okay, so we can see that the vertices could be repeated, but the edges must be unique. Okay, they must be distinct. Okay, from V, okay, from V we are not allowed to use F or G again. or maybe A again, because we already used that one. Okay, if we use that, then the edges, they won't be distinct. Okay, so from B, what we could do is we could take edge B and move to W. Okay, so this is an example of a trail. So in trail, the edges are distinct. So here you can see that we consider the edges. Okay, they are distinct. Also, let me give an example of a walk that is not a trail. Okay, so if you start from Y and suppose that you took F and you move to V, okay, and from V you took G and move to Y, okay, then if you take F, okay, you move to B. So here, okay, this particular sequence, it is not a trail. So here you can see that, so if you consider the edges, okay, this F is repeated. Okay, if it is not distinct or if it is repeated. Okay, so a walk is said to be a trail if the edges of the walk are distinct. Okay, so another important definition is of what is called a path. So if the vertices are distinct, then such a walk is called a path. So let me give an example of a path. So let's consider this graph. So in the case of trail, the edges are distinct. In the case of paths, vertices are distinct. Okay, so we could have something like U, A, V. Okay, so far the vertices are distinct. Okay, from V, you suppose that you took G. Okay, you can move to Y. Okay, from Y, suppose that you took F. Okay, so that is not possible because if you took F, the vertex V will get repeated. Okay, so that won't be a path. Okay, so that says from Y, okay, you can take either D or H. Okay, and similarly you can also see that you cannot take E. If you take E, you move to U. Okay, and U will get repeated here, right? So from Y, let's take H and move to W. Okay, so this is an example of a path in this graph. So here if you consider the vertices are not repeated. Okay, but the repetition of edges are allowed. That's okay. So if the edges are not repeated, or if the edges are distinct, then such a walk is called a trail. And if the vertices are distinct, then such a walk is called a path. So let me give you an example of a path, a walk that is not a path. Okay, so here again if you take Y and if you use edge F, you move to V. Okay, from V, suppose that you took G, you move back to Y. Okay, from Y, suppose that you take D, you move to X. So if you consider this walk, okay, let's go through the vertices. Okay, so here we can see that the vertices are not distinct. The Y is repeated. Okay, so Y is repeated, so this is not a path. So, but this is a path. Okay. Okay, so if two vertices U and V of a graph are said to be connected if there is a UV path in T. Okay, so let me give an example. Okay, let's consider, get this graph, and suppose that the edges are labeled like this, and not edges, vertices are labeled like that, and the edges like A, B, C, D. Okay, So in this case we can see that okay, U and X are connected. Okay, because there exists a UX path. Okay, in this case that UX path will look something like this U A V B X. Okay, so this is a UX path. Okay, so since there exists a UV path from V to X, okay, we can say that U and X are connected. The thing is that only need to exist one path. There may be more than one paths. For example, in this case you can see that you could have a path from U to D to W to C to X. Okay, so this is also a UX path. Okay, the thing is that two vertices of G are said to be connected if there exists a UV path in G. Okay, so but here you can see that U and Y are not connected. Okay, so the reason is that there is no UY path in graph G if this is a G. Okay, so that is one another important definition. Okay, anyway we will revisit this definition in the future. Okay, so two vertices U and V are said to be connected if there exists a UV path in G. Okay, so here you can see that U and V are connected. Okay, because you can reach V from U either following this edge or following these edges. So similarly U and W are connected, U and X are connected, W and V are connected. Okay, and here we can see that X and Y is not connected, W and Y is not connected. Okay, and okay, these kind of graphs are called disconnected graphs. And these separate subgraphs are called connected components. So this is one connected component and this is another connected component. So this graph G, it has two connected components. Okay, one is this subgraph and another is this subgraph. Okay. So anyway, we will discuss more about connected graph in some later videos. Okay, so another important definition is what is called a closed walk. So a walk is said to be closed if it has positive length. Positive length means length of that path is strictly greater than 0. Okay, so it contains at least one edge. Okay, and its initial and terminal vertices are the same. So that U0 and the VK, U0 is the initial vertex and VK is the final one, because they must be same. If they are same, we call such a walk a closed walk. Okay, so let's consider this example and build a closed walk. Okay, suppose that we start at X, okay, and follow this at A, you reach U. Okay, from C you reach, okay, from U using C you reach V. Okay, so that after V we use edge B. Okay, you move to U. Okay, and again suppose that you use edge A, you move to X. Okay, so this is an example of a closed walk in this graph G. So okay, this is our V0 and this is our VK. Okay, now we can see that V0 equal to VK equal to X. Okay, so such a walk is called a closed walk. Okay, so here we can see that this graph, it has many closed walks. Okay, another example is something like we start here, you use edge C, you move to V, use edge D, you move to W. Okay, use edge F, you move to W. So again, if you use edge F, you move back to W. Since F is a self loop. Okay, and from W again, suppose that you use E, you stay there W. Okay, suppose that in the next step you use at G, you move back to X. Okay, and suppose that at X you use that at A, and you move back to U. Okay, so this is also a closed walk. So here you can see that if this is V0 and this is Vk, so you can see that V0 equal to Vk equal to U. So this is also an example of a closed walk. And this is also an example of a closed walk. Okay. So another important definition is that of a cycle. So a closed trail. Okay, a closed trail means the edges are not repeated. Okay, whose initial and the internal vertices are distinct. Okay, so the vertices are not allowed to get repeated here. Okay, but the initial and the final, they can be same because we are dealing with a closed cycle. Okay, so a closed trail means the edges cannot be repeated, whose initial and the internal vertices are distinct, is called a cycle. Okay, so for example, so if you consider this graph, okay, one possible cycle could be if you start at U, use at C, okay, you move to B, use at B, okay, you move back to U. So this is a cycle. So you can see that you start at U and you ended at U, and if you look into the internal vertices, anyway it has only one internal vertex, they are distinct, and again you can see that the edges are also different. Okay, so it's a trail, okay, as well as a closed walk. Okay, so let me give one more example of a cycle. So another cycle that is possible here is you start at A, use A, okay, move to U, okay, use B, okay, you move to V, okay, from V use H, okay, that's okay, H, and you move back to X. Okay, so if you look into this thing, okay, you can see that the internal vertices, in this case U and V, they are distinct, and all the edges are also distinct. Okay, so let me give an example of a closed cycle, a closed walk that is not a cycle. Okay, so we start at say U, B, V, okay, D, F, okay, from D you move, using D you move to W. Suppose that you use F here, okay, you stay there, and in the next step suppose that you use G, okay, you move to X, okay, from X using A you move to U. So this is a closed walk, but it is not a cycle, okay, because of this reason. So if you go through the edges, okay, you can see that the edges are not repeated, so it's a trail. Okay, but the thing is that if you consider the internal vertices here, B, W, W, X, okay, you can see that W is not distinct, so it is repeated. Okay, so it is not a cycle. Okay, and a cycle of length k, the number of edges in that cycle is k, then such a cycle is called a k cycle. So if you consider this cycle, so this is a 2 cycle. So you can see that this cycle takes this edge and this edge. Okay, so this is a 2 cycle. So what about this one? How many edges? 1, 2, 3. So that's an example of a 3 cycle. Okay, so this is X, U, B, okay, X, U, B, V, h x. Okay, and this 3 cycle, it is also called a triangle. Okay, so it's something like a complete graph on 3 vertices. Okay, so this is what a cycle is. Okay, and a cycle is called a k cycle if it contains k edges. Okay, so these are some basic definitions in graph theory, and so we commonly use these notations when we try to prove theorems and solve problems. Okay, so if you write something like this, x, the right arrow superscript y, so it denotes a walk of length k from x to y. So if you are not sure about the length of the walk, then you can use a star here. So a walk from x to y. Okay, a walk of any length from x of y. Okay, that is denoted like x, right arrow, super star y. And if you know the length of the path, and if there exists a path from x to y, okay, that will be denoted like x, right arrow, y, k, where k is the length of the walk. Okay, okay, so before finishing this video, okay, let's go through one theorem related to the walk and path in a graph. Okay, so let G equal to V be a graph, and let x and y are distinct vertices of G. Okay, then every xy walk in G contains means it contains a subsequence or an xy section or something like that. Okay, G contains an xy path in G. So that says if in a graph G, if you have an xy, then there also exists an xy path. Okay, so remember in an xy walk you are allowed to repeat the vertices. Okay, but in an xy path you are not allowed to repeat the vertices. Okay, so if there is an xy walk, then this theorem says there also exists an xy path. Okay, so let's prove this theorem. So it is going to be a simple proof. Okay, so here we are given that an xy path exists in the graph. Okay, xy walk exists in the path. So let that walk be w, and let it be equal to say u0, u1, u2, uk. Okay, and let u0 equal to x and uk equal to y. Okay, so that says we have an xy walk. Okay, it is given. Okay, you are given that this graph it has an xy walk, and you are asked to prove that it also contains an xy path. Okay, that's what we are going to do next. Okay, so let's look into this walk and see whether it has a path or not. Okay, so if w has no repeated vertices, okay, then w is in fact an xy path. So if that is the case, then we are done. Okay, simply return that walk w. Okay, since it has no repeated vertex, then by definition it is also an xy path. Okay, so let's move to the other situation. Okay, so let me move to a new page here, and suppose that is not the case. Okay, suppose w has a repeated vertex. Okay, and suppose that the repeated one occurs at say ith index and say jth index. Okay, so that's say something like this. So somewhere here we have this ui. Okay, then after that we have uj. Okay, followed by this t, and ui is equal to uj. Okay, and without loss of generality, assume that I is strictly less than j. So in that sequence, ui appear first and uj appear later. Okay, so that says I less than j. Okay, so the situation will be something like this. You have this u0. Okay, and from u0 you took an edge and moved to u1. From u1 you took an edge and moved to u2. Okay, and after some time you reach this ui. Okay, from ui you took a path. Okay, and you move back to uj because okay, we assume that ui is equal to uj, and from here again you follow this edge and move to say uj plus 1. Okay, from uj plus 1 to move to uj plus 2 and so forth, and finally okay you move to uk minus 1 and took this edge and uk. Okay, so situation will be something like this. Okay, if you have this situation, if you have a repeated vertex and if ui equal to uj, then this could happen. But from u0 you move to ui and you followed this path and you again move back to ui because you assume that ui is equal to uj. Okay, and then you followed the remaining path and you arrived at uk, and this is still our xy path. Okay, so pictorially it is something like this. You start here u0. Okay, then took some path of some length. Okay, and you reached ui. From ui, okay, you took some path of some length, some unknown length. Okay, that's why we use star here, and you move to uj. Okay, from uj you move to uk using some path in the graph. Okay, path or walk in the graph, and you use this thing. Okay, so here what we could do is, okay, we can remove this portion. Okay, so we can remove this portion, and what remains is still a valid xy walk. Okay, so take this looping portion, and if you remove that looping portion, okay, you can see that you still have a valid xy walk. Okay, so here what we are doing is we are simply removing okay this walk. So that corresponds to something like this. You start here u0 and you took this walk and you erased vi and you skip this portion. Okay, it is possible because ui is equal to uj. Okay, then because of that reason, and since ui is equal to uj, once you use ui, okay, you can skip this portion and you can go to uk directly using this walk, and you are at the end. Okay, you can see that this is still an xy walk. Okay, and here again we can see that if you consider this walk, okay, this walk, it has a smaller length than the previous one because we removed some portion here. Okay, now we can see that, so if the shortened walk, if the has no. Okay, shorten walk means the walk that loopy portion get removed. Okay, walk has no repeated vertices. Then okay, it is the xy path that we need. Okay, if that is not the case, then what we could do is, okay, take this shortened path and use the procedure again. Okay, look for a repeated vertex and cut off the loopy portion. Okay, and we will get another shortest path, and you repeat until we have an xy path. Okay, so otherwise repeat the process. So that is the proof. Okay, so that's all about walk and path in my graph. Okay.